In a shocking escalation of weather chaos, northern Nevada found itself overwhelmed by intense flash flooding this past Wednesday, courtesy of a massive storm that dumped heavy rains across the area, from the steep slopes of the Sierra Nevada to the arid expanses of Lyon County. Wait, I think that's what they meant by Lyon County, a common misspelling in reports. Local folks were caught off guard as everyday roads turned into raging waterways. Homes became impromptu swimming pools, and normal routines ground to a halt in the fight to stay safe. It's heartbreaking to see how quickly nature can disrupt lives, isn't it? We often take dry weather for granted in desert regions, but events like this remind us of the raw power of storms. The folks at the National Weather Service did their part by putting out flood watches and urgent flash flood alerts ahead of time. Yet no one could have predicted just how ferocious the downpour would be. Commentary here: it's a good thing we have these warnings, but it highlights a bigger issue: public awareness and preparation. How many of us actually heed those alerts until it's too late? A wave of humid air pushed in from the southwest, clashing with a stuck weather front hanging over northern Nevada. This mix sparked a chain of sluggish thunderstorms that poured more than 3 inches of rain in under 2 hours in spots. Winds howled up to 40 miles per hour, and pea-sized hail pelted cars and houses in places like Reno and Sparks. The Interstate 80 route, which is crucial for shipping and getting around, took a major hit around Derby Dam. The westbound side was totally blocked off as floodwaters rushed over the pavement, leaving scores of drivers stuck. My take: infrastructure like this is vital, but when it's not built to handle extreme weather, it becomes a vulnerability. We've got to invest more in resilient roads. Lyon County got slammed the hardest, with towns such as Dayton, Stagecoach, and Silver Springs right in the crosshairs of the floods. Rescue teams rushed to shut down parts of US Route 50 and other key paths like Ramsey Weeks, which were cut off by swift-moving junk and over a foot of water swamping everything. These shutdowns hit during rush hour, sparking massive gridlock and slowing down help from first responders. Lyon County's emergency managers teamed up with the Sheriff's Department, search and rescue squads, state troopers, and transportation officials to tackle the mess. Even with all that, plenty of cars ended up bogged down in sludge and roadside traps after drivers tried to push through the floods. Officials hammered home the message: just a foot of fast water can sweep away most vehicles. Never risk it by driving into floods. Wise words, folks. I've seen too many stories where ignoring this leads to tragedy. Safety first, turn around, don't drown. Over in Silver Springs, people painted pictures of pure pandemonium as water burst through drainage pipes and flooded neighborhood roads. "It hit like a bolt out of the blue," shared Maria Lopez, a mom with 3 kids whose house got partly underwater. "We were just eyeing the rain 1 second, and the next, we were scooping up the children and dashing to higher ground." Schools throughout Lyon County shut down for who knows how long while crews check for damage. A few classrooms at Silver Springs Elementary got soaked, and the gym at Dayton High School suffered some serious structural hits. Power went out for more than 4,000 households, and repair teams pulled all-nighters to get lights back on. Public safety groups jumped into action, organizing spots for sandbags and safe havens. The Lyon County Fairgrounds got turned into a quick-stop evacuation hub, dishing out meals, drinks, and health support. Helpers from nearby areas rolled in with gear, and local shops chipped in blankets, baby supplies, and cases of water. Governor Alicia Martinez called a state of emergency late Tuesday, opening the door to federal aid and calling up the Nevada National Guard. In her TV speech, she stressed, "This is our time to band together. We'll rebuild, and we'll stand strong side by side." Inspiring stuff. It's moments like these that show community spirit at its best, but it also begs the question: why wait for disasters to unite us? Proactive planning could prevent some of this pain. Experts point out that this flooding fits into a worrying pattern. Nevada's seen a spike in flash flood alerts this year, with over 2,400 nationwide just in the first 6 months of 2025. Climate shifts are a big driver, as hotter air traps more water vapor, fueling fiercer rain bursts. Plus, city growth with all that concrete speeds up water flow and overloads old drains. Dr. Ethan Caldwell, a hydrology expert at the University of Nevada, Reno, put it bluntly: this is the fallout from years of skimping on flood defenses. Drains are jammed, holding ponds are too small, and response plans are behind the times. Consider this a loud alarm bell. Spot on, Dr. Caldwell. It's high time governments prioritize upgrades before the next big one hits. Shifting gears to another hot spot, a hefty summer storm on Tuesday hammered Barstow and chunks of the Mojave Desert with heavy rains, flash floods, and roadblocks. Right after the National Weather Service's flash flood alert that afternoon, pounding showers drenched zones between Barstow and Lucerne Valley. By evening, Caltrans announced State Route 247 south of Barstow was off-limits indefinitely. An inspection team planned to hit the site Wednesday morning to gauge the flood damage. Come Wednesday, officials confirmed Route 247 would stay closed between the Barstow Veterans Home and North Side Road for days due to storm wreckage. Only locals could get through, and Caltrans crews were hustling to fix it up fast. Brian Hartwick was among the residents who sent pics of swamped Barstow streets and highways to the Daily Press. Props to him for documenting it. Citizen journalism like this helps spread awareness. Those shots captured flooded spots near Lenwood Road, Barstow High School, and Route 247. More showers might sprinkle the Mojave on Wednesday and Thursday, per forecasters. Commentary: deserts aren't immune to floods. In fact, the hard ground makes water rush faster. It's a stark reminder for travelers to check weather apps religiously. Meanwhile, monsoon madness tore through southern Arizona, hitting places like Marana and Red Rock, messing with commuters and kids alike. Dirk Van Skunhaven, a driver caught in the mess, recounted his ordeal. Around 4 or 4:30 p.m., a wild river popped up out of nowhere. He parked and waited as the lead car, but then a huge surge of water slammed his side, and he couldn't fire up the engine quick enough to reverse. A kind stranger in a truck tried towing him back, but the car conked out again, stranding him northeast of Red Rock. Van Skunhaven, who's only been in Arizona 2 years, told News 4 Tucson, "Desert roads and floods? Totally new to me. You see those don't enter when flooded signs, so you stop, right? But how far back is safe? I figured I was at a high point, but nope, even that flooded." Relatable story, newbies to monsoon country. Take note, always err on the side of caution. Those signs aren't kidding. In Marana, kids at Marana Middle School dealt with a shelter-in-place order that pushed back parent pickups and bus departures, while extracurriculars got axed. The storm toppled trees at a local plant nursery and swamped frontage roads by Interstate 10. In an epic showdown with the elements, Arizona endured a barrage of fierce monsoon storms from August 25th to 27th, 2025, throwing the state into a frenzy of dust clouds, downpours, and disarray. Check out this haboob rolling in, as one observer might say, from massive dust walls that blotted out the sun to floods devouring freeways. The parched terrain became a clash zone between sky-high drama and people's grit. This weather beast, pumped by tropical dampness and scorching desert temps, lashed out over Maricopa, Pinal, and Pima counties. Note the correction on those county names for accuracy. Knocking out power for tens of thousands, halting planes, and pushing emergency crews to the brink. Arizona's monsoon peak usually hits in August, but this round was off the charts. Leftover moisture from Tropical Storm Juliet mixed with a stubborn high-pressure dome over the southwest, setting the stage for monster thunderstorms. On Monday the 25th, the Weather Service flagged a dust storm alert for Phoenix and surrounds, predicting gusts over 60 miles per hour and sight lines dropping to zilch. My commentary: haboobs are mesmerizing but deadly. Visibility zero means pull over safely if you're driving. Climate trends are amping these up, so adaptation is key for desert dwellers. By late afternoon, a colossal haboob, a towering wall of dust and sand stretching over 50 meters wide, roared through Arizona's valleys. Cities like Tempe, Chandler, and Mesa were swallowed in an eerie, apocalyptic twilight. Imagine looking out your window and seeing a sandy tsunami charging toward you. That's the kind of drama the storm brought. Radar images revealed massive cumulonimbus clouds soaring to 45,000 feet, unleashing lightning bolts every few seconds like a cosmic fireworks show. Some areas got slammed with over 1.5 inches of rain in less than an hour, turning streets into rivers and overwhelming drainage systems. When Mother Nature decides to speedrun a monsoon, you know it's going to be a rough day. At 6:30 p.m., Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, one of the nation's busiest hubs, hit the brakes on all flights for nearly 2 hours. The haboob slashed visibility to under 100 feet, forcing a full ground stop for arrivals and departures. Picture trying to land a plane when you can't even see the runway. Yeah, no thanks. High winds tore into Terminal 4, damaging the roof and causing water leaks that threw passenger services into chaos. Heather Shelbray, the airport's deputy aviation director, stepped up with a statement. Our crews worked tirelessly overnight to patch leaks and clear water. Keeping everyone safe is our #1 goal. Props to the crews for battling through the night to keep things together. The storm left over 200 flights delayed or diverted, stranding thousands of travelers. Airlines scrambled to rebook passengers, while nearby hotels filled up faster than you can say, no vacancy. If you've ever been stuck at an airport during a storm, you know the pain. Now add a dust cloud to the mix. Arizona's power infrastructure took a beating. According to outage maps from APS and SRP, over 56,000 customers in Phoenix and surrounding areas were left in the dark. Downed power lines, toppled transformers, and lightning strikes fried substations across the region. This wasn't just a blackout. It was like the storm declared war on electricity. In Gilbert, retired Professor Richard Phelan described the scene. The wind ripped bird feeders off my porch, and fine dust snuck into every corner of my house. It felt like the desert was staging a home invasion. That's a vivid way to sum up the chaos, when even your house isn't safe from the sand. Utility crews worked non-stop to restore power, but some neighborhoods stayed dark for over 36 hours. With triple-digit heat bearing down, cooling centers popped up in Mesa and Glendale to help vulnerable residents beat the heat. In Arizona, losing power in summer is like losing oxygen. Those cooling centers were literal lifesavers. The Arizona Department of Transportation reported widespread road closures due to flooding and debris. Interstate 10 near Avondale was submerged under 2 feet of water, while US 60 in Mesa became a graveyard for stranded vehicles. When highways turn into swimming pools, you know the storm means business. In Arizona City, Bernie Boylan Heights was driving her kids home when the haboob hit. I couldn't see my own hand in front of me, she said. My kids were scared out of their minds. I had to pull over and wait it out while the wind shook the car like it was a toy. That's the kind of story that makes you hug your family a little tighter. Emergency responders pulled off over 40 rescues in flood-prone areas. The state's 511 traffic system was flooded with calls, and social media exploded with photos of submerged cars and fallen trees. If you've ever scrolled through X during a disaster, you know it's half chaos, half community coming together. The monsoon storms of August 2025 swept through Arizona, leaving a trail of disruption in suburban neighborhoods. In Chandler, a massive tree toppled onto a family home, caving in the roof and forcing a family of 5 to seek temporary shelter. Over in the Atuki foothills, fierce winds tore down traffic signs and shattered windows, scattering debris across the landscape. Maricopa County schools shut their doors on Tuesday and Wednesday, prioritizing student safety amid widespread structural concerns. Mesa's public schools grappled with flooding across 3 campuses, while Tempe Union High School District swiftly enacted emergency measures to protect students and staff. Local commerce took a hit as restaurants shuttered early and grocery stores lost perishable goods during prolonged power outages. Construction projects across the region were left in chaos, with materials scattered and timelines disrupted. On August 26th, Governor Sofia Alvarez declared a state of emergency, activating the Arizona National Guard and securing federal disaster relief funds. In a televised address, she urged unity, stating, "This is our moment to come together. Arizona will rise stronger." Her words rallied the state as recovery efforts began. Emergency shelters sprang up in Phoenix, Tucson, and Casa Grande, providing food, water, and medical care to those in need. Volunteers from organizations like the Red Cross and Salvation Army worked tirelessly, distributing essentials, while local faith communities launched donation drives to support affected families. Residents used these platforms to share real-time updates, offer temporary housing, and organize grassroots rescue efforts, turning digital tools into lifelines for the community. Climate experts pointed to the storm as a sign of shifting weather patterns. Dr. Elena Torres, a climatologist at Arizona State University, noted, warmer temperatures and higher atmospheric moisture are fueling more intense monsoon storms. This week's events are a glimpse of what future summers may hold. Her insights underscored the urgency of adapting to a changing climate. Amid the chaos, the monsoon painted Arizona's desert with moments of stunning beauty. Photographers documented lightning streaking across the night sky, rainbows stretching over saguaro-studded vistas, and sunsets glowing in vibrant oranges and pinks. The desert came alive as creosote bushes released their signature earthy aroma. Toads sang in fleeting puddles, hummingbirds flitted among blooming cacti, and coyotes roamed the rain-soaked terrain. As Arizona begins its recovery, tales of bravery and kindness continue to emerge. Neighbors cleared debris together, first responders braved dangerous conditions, and communities united in the face of adversity. In the words of Governor Alvarez, "We cannot tame the storm, but we can choose how we meet it." Arizona has faced the tempest and emerged with resilience, ready to rebuild and thrive.